Go ahead, Andrew.
Coach, the guys were saying that they think that there was a lot of value that they can learn from that 14-0 run that Elon had to take the lead. What do you take from that run, and what do you want them to take from it?
Well, I think there's a lot to learn from the entire game. I think that it's an opportunity to grow and get better in a number of different areas on both ends of the floor. So, it's the first game of the season, and there are things that I was really proud of that I thought the team did really well and did at a high level. And there's things that we've got to improve on. And we feel very fortunate and to be able to pull away. I think Elon was up 73-71, and we talked about in the huddle, how are you going to react, how are you going to respond, and that this is actually the perfect game and a perfect situation to be in, is because this will help us grow. This will help us get to be the team that we want to become. And so from that standpoint, there is a lot to learn from it, and it's nice to learn from it from a victory.
Hubert, did you feel there was anything in particular you guys maybe got away from doing that allowed Elon to kind of come back and eventually take that 2-point lead that they took?
Yeah, just from a defensive standpoint in the second half, for the first part of the second half, they were shooting 60% from the field. They shot 50 in the second half. So I've been straightforward, clear, and direct about, for us to be the best team that we can possibly become, we've got to be a great defensive team, and allowing a team to shoot 50 to 60% the second half is just not going to get it done. And then on the offensive end, just being able to get the shots that we want. Elon does a really good job of mixing up their defenses, going from man to zone, and at times I felt like it took us out of rhythm, and in terms of the shots that we were trying to get. And there were a lot of times we were shooting shots up against the shot clock, and then we started to find a rhythm in terms of what we needed to do on the offensive end. But the defense in the second half was not at the level that we want to play at.
Hubert, as you said, you guys are trailing in the final, 6.5 minutes of the game. What was your message at that point to these guys about responding?
Yeah, I was, sorry guys. I did exactly say that in the huddle. I said, I'm glad that we're in this situation. I said, we're going to be in this situation a number of times, and we've talked about at practice how we're going to react, how we're going to respond, and we said from a defensive standpoint, we have to be sound and disciplined. We've got to get stops. We've got to finish the defensive possession with game rebounding, and then on the offensive end, got to take care of the basketball. We got to get shots and get the shots to the guys that can make shots. And I thought we were really intentional about doing that. I think we went on an 11-0 run, and from that standpoint, for the first game, there's a lot to learn. We've gone on the road at Memphis, we've played here at home, and now we play against a really good Elon team, and we're down by 2 with 7 minutes to go. Yeah. There's a lot to learn from and to be encouraged about how we've responded in those situations.
How important was it to have a player like R.J. Davis? You're down by 2
Very
points
important.
against Elon. No, what I'm saying is you have a player you're down by 2, and then you have that leader like R.J. Davis that really just takes the reign. He had been cold for most of the day on the field, shooting things like only shot 3 field goals, made 3 field goals. So how important was that at that moment to have him step up and have the energy, his energy just permeate through the entire team?
Well, in those situations, you need guys to be able to step up. It's not just from points, it's also energy, effort plays. I mentioned before, Jay Wash and Elliott's diving on the loose ball, getting defensive stops and rebounds. There's a number of ways that you can make impactful plays in order to help your team be successful. Obviously, having RJ, a 5th-year senior, first-team All-American, in those situations, that's nice to have as a coach. It's nice to have as players out there on the floor. It's nothing new for him. He's somebody that has always stepped up throughout his entire career, and he was able to do that tonight.
First possession of the game, Elliott knocks down that 3. Was that designed for him? And then he made 3 out of 4, I think, on the night. A new career high. I said he worked on it a lot in the offseason. Have you seen that kind of improvement from him?
Yeah, I have. He worked extremely hard over the summer in terms of his shot. He was a really good shooter last year. Shots just didn't go in. I think the biggest difference in terms in regards to his shot is just the times and the shot selection. You know, he's so much more mature and poised out there on the floor, very confident, understands when to take a shot, when not to. Obviously, his ability to distribute the basketball, he's playing at a high level.
Hubert, Seth said that the guys maybe got a little selfish in the second half on offense when Elon was making their run. Did you see that from where you were, and what do you think contributed to that?
No, this is not a selfish team. There's not one bit of selfishness on this team. I've never seen that since this team has come together. I didn't see that tonight. That's never come into my mind in regards to this team.
RJ Elliott.
Couple more.
RJ Elliott and Seth combined 56 points. Do you think that cohesion between those three is natural, or has it been built up in the past couple of months in practice and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, those guys, I mean, we need them to step up every night, and they've done it in practice, so for it to play out in the game is not surprising to me. But for us to be the team that we want to become, everybody has to step up. It just is what it is. And so we need everybody playing at a high level. And when everyone is locked in and playing at a high level, this is a team that I think has really good potential.
How much did it help
Ian
moving
got
forward?
pretty good minutes tonight. The freshman Drake and Ian got pretty good minutes. How did you feel about their impact in their first game?
Yeah, I thought they did some really good things, both Ian and Drake. You know, one of the things that they just keep getting better every practice and every game. You know, one of the things that I think people lose sight of is just the transition from high school to this level is real. And so you can be a first-team McDonald's All-American and still playing at this level. It takes time, and I really love how they have bought in defensively. They do a good job, not particularly on the stat sheet, but they do a really good job of rebounding the basketball, and then on the offensive end, you know, they can create and make shots. And so they're going to play a ton of minutes this year. We need them to step up and be big, and I'm so glad that they're here.
Last two, Andrew and Adam.
How much does seeing that much zone this early in the year, especially with a dude like they had in the middle of it, help you guys moving forward?
No, that really helps. You know, again, their ability to switch defenses from man to zone and then have a 7-4 center right there in the middle, that causes problems. And so that's why I say this is a great learning experience for us, because people are going to play zone. We're going to play against teams that have tremendous size, and so we're going to have to rebound. We're going to have to dominate points in the paint. We're going to have to be efficient whether they play man or zone. And this really gives us a blueprint on things that we've done well, that we continue to reinforce, but also some things that we need to get to work on. And so I'm really excited about working at that and looking at what we need to improve.
Last one, Adam, just a reminder, we'll be back here on Wednesday at 2:30, so hand it out.
Hubert, talking to Jalen Withers tonight, he said it meant something to him to earn the starting nod, you know, to open the season. What have you seen from him of late? He said maybe, you know, he has to do it through defense to maybe get some more playing time. What have you seen from him from late that had him out there as a starter tonight?
Well, I mean, you know, coming off the bench starting, that's not something that I think about. You know, I never thought about it as a player, and I don't really think about it as a coach. But what Jay Witt has done really well early in the season is being consistent. I've said this, you know, he's our most athletic, most versatile big. You know, from a defensive standpoint, he could guard 1 through 5. Offensively, his ability to be able to attack the basket, you know, and those are things that I want him to continue to work on. He had, you know, 0 free throw attempts. I think he could live at the free throw line the way that he can attack the basket. And so he's been really good for us. He's huge. And, you know, him, you know, obviously the experience is big for us, been in those situations, playing at the highest level. And so I've been really happy with Jay Witt and how he's played thus far.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.